This evidently is a vendetta that's being waged through Australia Post involving Southern Adelaide Freemasons, evidently. This has been happening for several years now, at least since about 2017. But I hadn't made a big deal over it because I hadn't realised the seriousness of it. But recently I realised they had been forging labels and they had been doing it for some years. So I started making sure when I had my addresses from the people I was buying small items from, that they had do not signature not required, leave it in the letterbox, that sort of thing. And I kept on getting more serious and more serious until the last one I did just recently in May, I said, do not forge labels, Australia Post, so quite specifically. And they still forge the labels and insist that I have to go to the post office and collect the small items with a signature. And I'm talking about small items that would go in a regular post office box, a regular home delivery box. I've got a very large one. So I've done a recording, I've got some photos, and I've just got the evidence basically for the police. The photo of this male person here is inside the post office, and he's reading the label that's attached to the small parcel that he's refused to give me. It's actually a telephone case, that's all it is, like $10 item. I paid extra for delivery. And he's reading the label that says, delivery instruction from sender and receiver demand, never forge new label for ransom signature Australia, always leave in or behind letterbox, CCTV monitored. And he refused to give it to me because someone's forged the label and said, and it's got that instruction on the label, and it's got do not, like signature required, do not leave in the letterbox. So it's got the two instructions, one not to forge a label and the other one to leave it in the letterbox. So he chose to acknowledge the one that says you must sign for it. I just made a mistake then. He chose the one that says I must sign for it, and he refused to give it to me unless I signed for it. Well, I had to go through that process so I could say to police, well, look, he's refused to give it to me despite what it says on the label. Only one of these parcels involved came from Ukraine. All of the rest, and I mean all of the rest of these parcels, and in 2024 there's close to 20 parcels that are involved. All of them have come from China, directly from China. They haven't been through the Australia Post system, yet all the labels have Australia Post on them. These labels have been manufactured in Australia. This one that's redacted in my address, it's just my address and my phone number that's redacted in the blue colour. It says no signature required. It says Australia Post, no signature needed ever, and always put in large letterbox, CCTV monitored, or in yard behind if too large, and never combine parcels into one Australia Post. And I write that because they've created new bags and put 3 or 4 parcels inside and made a really large bag when these tiny little parcels will fit in my letterbox. And like you'll see, it's a large letterbox. And they've added on the label, they've added a description delivery instructions. It says, I can't read if premises unattended, please leave at local post office with card. These 6 notices to collect parcels were all put in my same letterbox at Seaford Rise by the Lonsdale carriers from Australia Post. You'll see the top left one is 2019. They want me to collect it from the Lonsdale Parcel Centre in Lonsdale, which is quite a long way away from where I live. And then the one on the right, that's close to where I live at Seaford. And then the one far right at the top, Port Noarlunga, that's a lot further away. It's not at Seaford. Then go back bottom left, O'Sullivan Beach, that's almost the same distance away as Lonsdale above it, but it's further west. And the one in the centre bottom, you'll see it says specifically on the collection card to leave goods in large letterbox. And then the bottom right one's 2 parcels. They've combined are actually, there was more than 2 because they'd repackaged them, and there was about half a dozen parcels in the 2 parcels. This rubbish actually started after I had my driver's license, illegally cancelled. So they're expecting me to traipse around on the buses or walk to all these places to pick up these parcels. The one at Lonsdale and O'Sullivan's Beach, they were both large parcels, and they expected me to walk and carry them on my back or something because you couldn't get them on the bus. They're too big. They'd done this after they'd illegally cancelled my driver's licence. I asked police to investigate medical crimes. So instead of investigating medical crimes, they decided that I had a mental illness. So therefore, because I asked them to investigate medical crimes, so therefore I wasn't fit to drive. The thing is with these Freemason families, I'm not talking about just the blokes, I'm talking about their wives and their kids as well and the extended family, if they're involved in it. The thing is they all protect these crimes. It's everything you do. You go to the doctor, you get discriminated against because you've got this evidence against the Freemasons who are involved in the government. I can't even get my animals cared for properly when I go to local vets. My life is being impinged upon because I've got this evidence against Freemasons. I've never done anything wrong, never retaliated. I've made certain I haven't, so they've got no excuse. I become the terrorist. They treat me as if I've done the absolute worst thing you could possibly think of, and I'm treated outside the law. I'm basically an outlaw. These Freemason families, because they're entwined with the political parties, the Labor and the Liberal Party, these Freemason families and the political parties, they're terrorists. They're worse than outlaw bikies could ever be because they control government. The outlaw bikies don't control government. These Freemason terrorists control government. I have about, quite a few parcels to pick up currently.
Janette, Gail, Francis. Yours.
Driver's license, thank you.
No. Need a signature for them.
Oh, you need a signature. And
yeah.
Who requested the signature?
Probably the company that sent them out.
You don't know?
Not until I've zapped them, no. It'll tell me in a minute.
Do I need to sign for every single one?
No, I put every single one into the system and then you just give me one signature.
Thank you. Does anybody else have access to these labels in the Australia Post Corporation? Like
No,
at customs? These aren't available at customs?
So these are printed off by the company that's sending them out
Are they printed off at customs at any time?
Not as far as I know.
Yeah, the company.
The company that's sending you the article.
In your opinion, the company that's sending the article always prints the label?
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
their job to print.
Yep.
So they got the machine to print.
I don't have an argument with you. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're doing your job. Number 4.
How many?
I'm missing 14. 5. 6. 7. 8.
'Kay, signature on the glass, please, and then press the green button.
Yeah, before I do, could I ask you a question?
Sure can.
What does it say on that envelope? The
Which
address?
one? It says from Oleg Yarmek, the Ukraine.
What else does it say?
I can't
For the
read it.
delivery address.
Yeah, so what I suggest you do is I'll give you a phone number.
Yeah.
Because-
What does it say? Can you read it to me?
I can read it. 34 Whitestone Court, leave goods in large letterbox.
Thank you.
I'll give you a phone number.
Yeah, I've tried that. We're on to the next stage.
Okay, signature, press the green button please.
Yes. Can you pass this legal notice on to the person in
No,
charge?
you need to send it in, I'm
No,
afraid.
I'm
No,
leaving it with you.
I need a signature.
I have
No, you
I have
You
just
haven't.
served those
It's not-
documents on you.
So, it has
I have
what?
just served
It
those
has- no,
documents
we're not
on
talking about the
you.
documents.
You
Excuse
are
me.
a government public officer. Yes, you are.